Welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about tanning hides, why we do it, some of the things we experiment with, and also just kind of the best way that we know how. Right now Red Pepper is feeding some of our Jacob sheep as we build up some pastures, which I'll show you as one example. See, I'm trying to let some of that stuff back there go through a life cycle, where some of the different legumes, some of the white clover actually goes to seed, reseeds itself, and then the original parent plant keeps growing. So we're letting that get up a little taller. And in the meantime, we've actually got some of our sheep on hay right now. So over here in the barn, these are some of our Jacob sheep. Hey, Crazy Horns. You know, that one's pretty well. She's one of the best females we got right now as far as genetics. And Rambo has got the big horns and back. Oh, it's a Dodge. Dodge, yes. Rambo was one of our old rams. Dodge. Meh. Oh, there he is. So you can see that. So I'm just giving him a little bit of hay right now. And we're going to talk about, what are we going to talk about today?
Tanning.
Tanning hides. And technically, this form of tanning would actually be, I believe, what they call a pickle. There's a lot of different ways to do it, to pretty much take a raw animal skin, which would really just decompose and kind of be eaten by various bugs and stuff, and turn it into something that you can use, like you would with a leather good or something like that. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what I found out in my experiments, and then what we got in the process right now. So Red Pepper right now has what we call white ram. White ram was one of Rambo's sons. One of Rambo's sons. And Lavender was his mom. So a lot of times the Jacob sheep, you're going to have either the dark brown, black with white, or some of them are actually like lavender colored. So she threw us twins, and she threw us some nice white looking ones. And what I did the other year is I found a pickle that really, I mean, if you look at this, I really didn't have to work this at all, because I came up with a trick of kind of, rather than letting the whole thing get hard and then having to break the skin constantly. And I mean, people rub them up and grind them up and crumple them up and all sorts of things just to try to get them where they need to be. And I'll share that in a minute too, but we really have a very nice, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, this is a really good skin. I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and you guys like it a lot too, right? We're contemplating some different things to do with it. One is if I start making like buckskin outfits, of course you could kind of add a little bit of flair by putting a nice fur collar on there. Or another thing is, if you see here, there's still the leg parts. So if you had a button and a hole on the top leg part and the bottom leg part, you could actually make some pretty nice goat skins or ram skins for your legs. I'm not really sure why you'd want to do that. I'm just saying you could. And it would feel kind of nice, look kind of nice. But we kind of use it as a rug in the house. But pretty much when you're dealing with skins, when you're dealing with raising your own animals for meat, if there's something else you can do with them, to me, it's just better that way. Rather than having this be something we burn, because a lot of times to get rid of whatever we don't use from an animal, we'll just have what we call a Viking funeral. If we try to bury it here, it's all rock and clay. That's not going to work out very well. If we leave it out in the open, of course, you're just inviting different carry-on stuff, you know, whoever would, the scavengers, come and eat from the dead carcass. We don't want that. Are you cold? Yeah. You're bouncing on. It's cooling down out here. I was running around a lot, so I'm in shorts and t-shirts still. But we just burn up whatever's left. And that's a great way to get rid of everything. Then the ashes and the burnt up bones and stuff can go to the fire. On this project, Red Pepper's been helping me just because I want to pass on some of this information to our children. And did we get everything done really early in the day when we're working on this project?
No.
No. There's been a couple of late nights because to fit it into my work schedule and the children's schedules between chores and schooling and different tasks and a lot of the life we live, it winds up being pushed back in the evening. So to get more use out of, you know, the animals, they give us great meals. We really enjoy them. Really enjoy them. And then this is such a great byproduct that I would rather have, and I'd rather educate myself. I want to get into brain tanning. I want to get into some different options, but for a while I tried a number of different things, and this one I found to be the best. I believe I found it on a article about how to pickle rabbit skins from Mother Earth News. If I find that again, I will link it in the description. So just kind of click show more and it'll show you a bunch of stuff in the description. But it's pretty much salt and alum. So we take 2 gallons of room temperature water, we take a cup of alum, and this is some food grade alum that I ordered off the internet. I ordered extra just to keep a bunch on hand because we're heading into deer hunting season as of a couple days ago, and looking forward to doing that as well. And then just regular salt, non-ionized salt, or iodized, non-iodized salt. And what you do is you take 2 gallons of water, lukewarm, 1 cup of this, and 1 cup of the salt, and you put it in there with your skin. It depends on how big your skin is, what the animals are. These sheep were even young sheep. These ones here are the ones we're working on right now, and they were only 6, 7, 8 months old, probably at the tops. So I want to use the same process that we used on this, on these guys. And you let them soak for 2 days. When I do the animals myself, I like to take the skin right away and get all the flesh, all the stuff off of it that I possibly can, and leave it as smooth as you can. You can just kind of do a good job and throw it in there for the first 2 days and then pull it out and finish fleshing it. I did that on some of these because it was late, but I do like to do as much as I can right away. And then after 2 days, you pull it out, you rinse it off, you flesh it, you take off anything else that was still stuck to here, make it clean, and then you add another cup of salt and another cup of alum to your original mixture, and you put the skins back in there. Because of the size of these, I did them each in their own bucket, and then you leave them for another 7 days, I believe. So make the mixture, put the skin in there for 2 days, pull it out, finish fleshing it if you haven't already done so, and then add that extra stuff to it and leave it in for another 7 days. Because I was working down in Louisiana, I let these go about an extra 5 days, and I figured I could risk it. I figured it would work. Each morning and each night for the whole process, you just kind of make sure to stir it up every day, every morning and every night. That's what we did. And then for that extra like 5 days, I had the children and Mama Pepper do that in my absence. So right now I'm just kind of pulling this and making sure it's nice and stretched out. This is still rather heavy. It's dripping when I shake it. And we're into the drying process now. So it's gonna take a while for these to dry. There's definitely a lot of wool on these. And I can't wait to see them when they're done. And then also there is like some cockleburs and stuff stuck in some of this fur, in some of this wool. So eventually we'll just kind of fluff it up more when it gets dry, pick the cockleburs out and stuff like that. But I seem to have done a pretty good job. Here would be the neck coming on down. Here would be the front legs. And then you've got the back, and then you've got the back legs, and then the tail. When I did these, I did 3 of them at a time because I had a friend who wanted to learn how. So I did one, and him and his family watched. Then on the second one, I had them do it and kind of walked them through the process. So they wanted to learn. I wanted to take the time to invest in their family, give them the opportunity. On the second one, I just let them do it. And you can see too, on some of these, there is little nicks from the knife. Because we have a woollier animal that we're dealing with, that's gonna be covered anyway, but you can also just stitch that up. Is another option. And it's starting to get a little dry around the edges, so I wanna keep working that. Here you can see, it's actually getting a little bit yellowed, and if I pull, it turns white again. So I'm stretching it out and keeping it soft. And one thing I found on that one was that as the whole thing almost gets dry, I kind of kept it wrapped up so it would dry much slower than if I just had the whole thing sitting out. I have a couple of like broom handles and stuff in the shower right now, and these are just hanging over there drip drying, and I work them a little bit, I wring them out a little bit, like this guy here. You can see there's still water in there. And here's the other one. It's kind of cool to see some of the different patterns and some of the different shapes. So pretty much that is the way we do it. This is another one of them. They're all kind of individuals. They all look a little bit different. We were even thinking you could fold them in half, stitch them shut, and then stuff them with some of the wool that we sheared and kind of make your own just 100% sheep pillow. And that'd be really nice too. But we can also just use them, you know, as wall decor, throw them over couches, over seats, different stuff like that. I think they look great. I really like them. I'm looking forward to seeing how they cure. But that's pretty much the curing of the tanning pickling process. That's the way we do it. 2 gallons water, 1 cup salt, 1 cup alum. Leave them in there for 2 days. Stir in the morning, stir in the night. Watch your hands, you know, we use a stick. And then take them out, wash them off, finish fleshing them, add an extra cup of salt, extra cup of alum to the mixture. Put that back in there and keep stirring it for another week. After that point, rinse them off. For these, I rinsed them off a lot, kind of soaked them. The water was still kind of brown or reddish. You know, we were dealing with a raw animal that was just processed. So there was some blood, some other dirt and stuff in there. And then I used a little bit of shampoo, a little bit of soap, and a little bit of essential oils to take care of it. To smell that right now.
It's really strong.
Strong like what?
Soap.
She says it smells strong like soap. I think she's picking up the essential oils there. And then the other thing I wanted to cover in this video, a while ago somebody from Australia sent me a present. This was the present. Because it's a coin purse. You know, I have coins in there right now. And it's got a little, you know, cinch to it. Close it up a little bit like that. But I was checking out, I'm like, man, this is beautiful material here. You know, it's some actual animal hide. I'm like, it's seamless. I said, yeah, wow. Oh, it's got no seams in it. I thought, wait a minute. Is that what I think it is? And I checked the little note that came with it, and it was what I thought it was. Okay, it's animal skin. It's seamless. And I'm like, oh cool, a little coin purse. And I'm looking at it and I go, it's seamless. So this is actually a kangaroo scrotum, yes. That they turned into a coin purse. It's got a little picture of the kangaroo on it. They added that later. It's not how they're identified in the thing. But we decided, after we already sent the first one to the fire, why not take these off of those rams? And why not try to make our own little coin purses? So that's something we're gonna do this time. Here's the inside. Here's the outside. So it's got fur on the outside. And we're gonna try to make some little coin purses. A little interesting, a little different, something you wouldn't always do or everyone wouldn't do. But we think it's worth doing something with them. So, yeah. And you had wanted one of these, right? So she's been working a lot on this project with me. So we're probably gonna make one of these up for her. And then I'll have an extra one and we'll see. But that's just kind of how we do what we do pertaining to this.
Hopefully you learned something, and thanks for watching.
This is just one of those things we do on our homestead to provide for our family. You can also sell stuff like this, a different way to generate an income, right? But you think you'd rather keep them right now, huh? I mean, we like having them around. It's cool, and it's nice to see something, you know, this nice that you did yourself, and you're like, wow, I did that. And now she gets to participate in one too. So just like when we shared the butchering process of this with our friends, wanted to share some of the tanning stuff with you guys. Hopefully have some of you guys learn some stuff. Hopefully you did learn some stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Thank you once again for tuning in. I'll show you how these turn out in an upcoming video. But thanks for watching. Papa out.
Red pepper out.